with a text
Like
that's
that one. That one's great. Currently waiting for YouTube. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
gotta get
Alright.
back to the past, Samurai Jack.
Oh, yeah?
We are today watching Samurai Jack, as Kevin would have implied there. So,
Oh, yeah?
are you guys
Okay.
ready to go? Do we have the show
All right.
queued
All
up?
right. All right, to explain, Alex has never seen this show fully.
No,
Gizmo
I've
and
only ever
I
seen
have,
clips.
including the extra thick one.
Extra thick.
No, no, no. No, no, no. This is how you do it. Extra thick. Anyway, so are we ready?
Yes.
All right. In three, two, one. So yeah, we're not gonna get like the cold open until like either after this first episode or the first three episodes. So we're not gonna be hearing the long ago in a distant land monologue.
I find that kind of important for like a first episode to kind of start with like the premise, and then
Yeah, but here's
the
the thing. The premise
subsequent episodes
here's
can have the can have like the opening sequence, you know?
yeah, and this is yeah, and this opening episode does tell us uh or it does a showcase to us like, oh, there's an eclipse happening. This thing and that somehow and
Exit
that's
light.
affecting this tree.
Yeah, the eclipse the eclipse, much like the eclipse from Heroes, is going to fuck everything up.
Imagine if that
Hopefully
eclipse were like Imagine if
the
that
one
eclipse were like the one from The Amazing
Berserk.
World of Gumball.
Oh. I thought you were gonna say Berserk, but you know, the,
Now, if it were like Berserk, this would be much darker.
if
Oh, there he
oh, and
is.
that's what created a coup.
No, that's what unsealed Aku from the tree.
Oh,
Because
okay.
that tree was his prison. Aku does actually
After
explain this later.
10,000 years, I'm free. It's time to conquer Earth.
Sure.
Look at that face. Rest in peace, Mako Iwamatsu, you magnificent bastard. I believe that's Keone Young as the Emperor.
We assembled a team of 5 teenagers with attitude in brightly colored spandex. It's not spandex!
Oh, by the way, those 3 monks are actually Odin, Vishnu, and Ra.
Holy shit.
So we have of Norse, Hindu, and Egyptian mythologies having to work together to defeat this entity.
It reminds me of something that we put together.
And this show is built on Cartoon Network Studios.
Hmm.
Same same studio that did stuff like the Powerpuff Girls and whatnot.
Looks like, looks like it's styled after old woodcuts.
Yep.
It's almost like,
So
having
we
a
never get a
consistent
so
art
we
style is a good idea.
yeah. So the Emperor's son is never given a proper name. If you're wondering where the name Jack comes from, you will find out literally in the second episode. Dad, I'm having this staring contest with this weird tree.
You know, you could probably hit the target better if you opened your eyes.
Their eyes are open, Alex.
Sleep with one eye open.
And all of these weapons prove to be incredibly ineffective against Aku. Which, by the way, this looks really good on the Blu-ray.
Oh yeah. There is a little bit of macro blocking in some of the dark spaces towards the edges of colors, but fortunately it's how do I put this? Not nearly as bad as it is on Young Justice. Or most of the movies that DC makes these days. Remember all that time where I was asking, like, why is this green?
Yes.
Eh.
So, any so it's been said that anytime when a voice director or director asks Mako Iwamatsu to like give 100%, he does give 100%. And now I'm like, even even when he was fighting against cancer, or he just
He
did
gave it
all
his
that.
all.
hmm So, so the mother is going to be holding on to that magic sword until all the sun is ready. Until then, he's going to be going through a hell of a training arc all across the world. Yes, this was actually planned out. You perhaps see some similarities between him and a certain other person who may or may not have gone through parental related tragedies.
Like, who specifically? Batman?
Spider-Man,
Yes. Yes, Batman.
Superman,
Hey, it's Orion.
Iron Man,
I was more, like I said, I was more referring to
Hawkeye,
Batman. And because Batman had actually,
Shadowhawk,
because that Batman's the well-known
Savage Dragon.
own one owned by Warner Brothers, or is that has traveled the world. I had to imagine. I had to imagine the boy ended up being somewhat socially stunted by the fact that he kept on moving from person to person, and as time went on, never really developing much of a connection between himself and anybody else. That makes any sense to you, Alex?
Yeah. Now, I have to praise this for the art style specifically. Because
And the
I
music.
remember reading some Samurai Jack comic books too. And the
Oh
art
yeah,
style always stuck out a mile away. Like, you weren't gonna mistake Samurai Jack for anything else.
Hmm?
But nowadays, like, you could mistake just about any cartoon for any other cartoon. Like, if it's
yeah.
realistically animated, all of them look like they're realistically animated. If it's trying to be anime-esque, all of them look like they're trying to be a knockoff of Avatar: The Last Airbender. If it's trying to
Uh,
be, like, comedic in tone and shit, it's a fucking Cal Art style, you know? Oh, like the
at the
fucking
very
bean mouth noodle style.
That's racist.
now, oh, now the interesting thing is, like, even the Batman had its own identity compared to '03 Teen Titans.
The Shadow. What?
Yeah, the Batman had some distinction compared to Titans, even though it was trying to be kind of like Titans, but it was still, no, like, it still stuck out compared to other shows. It's not like a matter of it stuck out in relation to like
We'll actually end up getting more expansion of the sun in the African village in an episode of season 4. I said this is kind of them just like speed running
it's like a giant
through
training
his,
montage.
yeah, like as I said. Now he's in Egypt, rather than now he's in the Middle East.
It may seem like kind of a bold choice for the episode to have very little dialogue in it, but it is telling the story sort of
Through imagery.
Yeah,
through imagery, through the
through,
things that we're
through
seeing on the screen.
through the music as well.
Went from Egypt to fucking Greece.
Uh-huh.
And now he's grown older.
And at the Colosseum.
Uh, what did you end up meeting Robin Hood?
Look at him. What? Who else do you think he is?
Yeah, that is literally a Robin Hood thing, and that is a reference to one of the most famous Robin Hood stories.
Yep. Now he's being taught how to sail by Vikings.
Is he just going through random periods of time?
No, it's just like we're going through
A
like
lot
his
of them
life.
don't, because a lot of them don't. I don't think would have coexisted with others.
No, but
Yeah.
this is a cartoon. We're allowed to,
True.
and now we're in Russia
Yeah,
during the Eastern
or
Orthodox period.
we're
And that
throwing
is very,
axes at Russian dolls.
that is very clearly supposed to be Rasputin.
Um,
And now he's training with Attila the Hun.
And
and
then he's training with
with the
some
monks.
monks.
I think I see Kung Lao somewhere in the
I
background
believe
sharpening his hat.
David Carradine is here before his bout with autoerotic asphyxiation.
Oof. I was a
Which
full.
movie was that?
It was a TV show,
Oh,
Kung Fu,
I
ah,
was a
okay.
full for
where he
school for
played
cutting,
where he
Jim.
played the Shaolin monk Huai Chang Kane.
I see. And now that he's all trained up, he is going to acquire or the weapon that he's worked hard to earn.
What? No knights?
Yeah, the funny thing is that Phil Lamar had recounted this show as being like the easiest paycheck of his life.
Because
Why is that?
he didn't
He
have to
doesn't
talk
need
a
to.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. And
You
now,
specific. You specifically had that gi waiting for him.
of course.
The sword I get. The gi I don't really.
Well, I mean,
Well, this one because aren't like samurai supposed to have like different emblems, or if not, because if they're like fucking masterless, aren't they at least supposed to have different colors of gi depending on like their status? Not like ruler status, but just status. Like says a lot about their personality. What does white mean in this case?
I mean, white is literally the default color. White
Jack is
robes,
anything but.
yeah, white robes mean basically mean nothing, as far as I remember. I don't know.
Meanwhile,
Oh, like they're the baseline.
Baseline, baseline.
I like this bit of motif for Aku.
What theater? 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 Ooh.
And contrary to what Conan the Barbarian and went through, the Emperor did not get bulky from all that pushing. He only got more withered.
Well, he is like a million years old now.
Why do you have that there then?
Yeah. Aw, that's
Yeah,
precious.
we were still at that time where you couldn't say kill in a cartoon.
Even though death has been mentioned before in shows that came out prior to this.
No, not really.
Some, yes.
It really
Batman the
depends.
Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series,
Those
Batman
are different.
Beyond, Static Shock.
Those are very different. They try not to treat the audience like a fucking idiots. Spider-Man, on the other hand, every villain had to say destroy instead of kill. Spider-Man had to wrestle his opponents instead of punch or kick, and how he uses default webbing. And they switched out every gun that every person ever had with lasers.
Kind of like 4Kids did.
Spider-Man at least had the excuse for the laser guns. One Piece, oh, we got water guns. Why? So because he's a devil
Because
fruit user. Yeah, it doesn't
because
work
we're
that way.
pirates.
It doesn't work that way, bro. They hate water. No, not like that. Unless they all got rabies, I think they're able to drink or even touch water.
Well, it's salt water that's the issue, so...
Fucking dad's rolling his eyes.
Well, I can't cut somebody's head off with my hands, so...
Strider.
I mean, Omni-Man was able to.
Why I look like
But he's not a
Omni-Man?
samurai.
Don't sound like J.K. Simmons. But I
Strider
do want
Kiryu can
pictures of
literally
Spider-Man.
Strider
Oh,
Kiryu can literally cut a bitch up with just his hand if he wanted to.
and Death Battle thought it was a good idea to pit Hiryu against Hayabusa.
It was a
Mhm.
popular demanded battle, so it made sense. Just like a lot of the others at that time, Hagar versus Zangief, TMNT Battle Royale.
Hagar vs. Zangief was bad for reasons other than the pairing, though.
It made sense why people wanted to see them fight against each other, though. They're literally in the same universe and yet have never interacted with each other.
Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, if you'd want to know who would beat who, they're practically in the same universe,
Ah,
yet somehow very separate.
I'm awake. I'm awake.
Samurai, it's
You
not
can
even 11.
you can stop calling my name. And
we're gonna have
we
we're gonna
don't
have way too
accept
much fun
solicitors
with
here.
we're gonna have way too much fun with
Does
Aku.
the
I
samurai
swear.
have my DoorDash?
If
I
you are
ordered
not DoorDash,
I
then be
ordered
gone.
sushi, not
And the master of
cheeseburgers.
masters, the shiver of darkness, the shogun of sorrow,
Lord Aku,
Aku.
answer me one
Oh,
question. Why do you
dude.
DoorDash Sonic for grilled cheese sandwiches every day when you could just go down to the store and buy a loaf of bread and a block of cheese for the same price?
That cheese is
Cause
impeccable to
it's
regular
easier to make
cheese.
people do my bidding. Yeah. This was before they established how badly the sword really affects Aku. Because it's like it's that thing straight up burns him in later or seasons.
Man, I could go for some Sonic right now.
I would love for there to be like a show like this, not like a show that's trying to be Samurai Jack, but just like a show that has this kind of distinct high contrast art style, you know?
You know they're not going to
Where
do that
where
again.
things are kind of amorphic, but there's clearly defined features and stuff that you can see, and there's like bright, bold colors. Like everything is pastels these days. Nothing is bold.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of brilliant
You're-
contrast, you know?
no one tries to make their own art style anymore.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
like we said, it's either trying to be realistic or trying to be Cal Arts or trying to be faux anime.
But Cal Arts was a mistake.
Oh god. For as much as I love
Okay.
regular show and Adventure Time, early Adventure Time, I have to say, Cal Arts, ugh.
All right. So, would you like to know the composers who worked on this show?
They had taste.
Sure.
We have James L. Venable, who worked on seasons in 1 through 4. Tyler Bates. It's Joanne Higginbottom.
Huh.
Dieter Hartman, who worked on season 5, and Paul Dinlater for seasons 1 through 4.
That's not a katana though. If you notice that the blade isn't curved.
And yes, this is the same
Uh,
Tyler Bates who composed those Guardians
Guardians
of
of
the
the
Galaxy,
Galaxy, yes.
who's worked on this show.
Eh, eh.
Yes, and Paul Dinletter has worked with Harry Gregson Williams. And it was also done in a number of
Now,
well
I will
he's
destroy you in the future.
he's one
There
of the
is no
guys.
future for you, Aku. I
Yes.
disagree.
He literally meant the
Is
future.
this? Oh, do not worry, Samurai. We'll see me again.
See,
But next
that's a really
time,
good little touch.
be
Like
so
Jack is
fortunate.
trying to get out of the time warp. You didn't have to do that, but it helps. It like everybody asks like what would happen if he tried, and it's like oh, nothing happened. That's all you got to do is make him try. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, you could also thank Gendy Tartakovsky for having quite the attention to detail on a lot of
Mhm.
things.
Yeah, apparently Paul Dinletter used Logic Pro software to create this for during his time with X-Ray Dog.
And let's also not forget the fact that Tartakovsky is responsible for how amazing in the '03 a Star Wars The Clone Wars show is.
Yes, that was an excellent series, which also had a very nice, distinctive art style.
All right, so now we're on episode 2. So are we ready?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Long ago in a distant land, I, Aku, the shape-shifting master of darkness, unleashed an unspeakable evil. But a foolish samurai warrior wielding a magic sword stepped forth
Fuck.
to oppose me. Before the final blow was struck, I tore open a portal in time and flung him into the future, where my evil is law. Now the fool seeks to return to the past and undo the future that is Aku. Back to the past, Samurai Jack. Watch out. And the singer for this theme is, and the person who worked on the theme music for this is Will I Am.
Couldn't
Gotta
have
get back.
any. Yeah, couldn't get any more early 2000s than this, but ain't complaining about it. And this is another opening sequence that explains the whole premise of the show in a quite succinct manner, which is something that modern TV shows could do to learn from.
And and the thing is that doing Mako's voice, though it strains my throat, I'm like, it's one of those worth it. It was worth it.
I am the great Aku.
Uh,
Why'd you name your own wife Mother?
That's a strange thing that people do. Like they call their significant other her like mother or father or something like that.
Why not just say my beloved or my sweetheart
Yeah,
or something like that? It makes more sense. Because, just like that, Speed Racer shorts, the
and we
scribes,
already
do you know how awkward it is?
we already kind of went through this, guys.
Oh,
Forget
yeah?
this also aired on a weekly basis, Alex.
Oh yeah, I know. But we like that was in the recap at the start of the episode.
Now, oh, Jack is in the
And
far future.
yeah, and now we're
Oh,
in
you're
either
stupid.
we're in either we're either on Coruscant or we're in the world from
Or
the Fifth
or
Element.
2024 Gotham City.
I was gonna say, yeah, that works too. Fifth Element was what I was thinking of first, though.
Big by the boom.
Tartakovsky is like a real huge fan of a lot of things. And so, oh, it makes sense that he makes references to stuff like the Fifth Element.
Man, I would.
Like
I love the Fifth
he's one of
Element.
the he's one of those guys who wears his influences on his sleeve. Oh my.
This is where he gets his name. Hey, you see
It's
the
kind of
seniority over there?
it's kind of funny seeing it snap into 16:9, and when it's 4:3 animated show right now.
I mean, TMNT 03 did the same thing in
Oh
some
yeah, I
parts.
remember.
Which, by the way, Gizmo, if you want to join Seamus and I for that, just make sure you're all caught up with our commentary on that one.
For what?
I mean, I'm still willing to put off Highlander if you guys want to watch that
Hold
on
on, I'm getting
Sunday.
a call. I'll be right back.
and he's just really confused. He's like, "What the fuck are you guys talking about?"
This
I
is
think
a
Rob
this is a dialect of jive that I am unfamiliar with. I'm sorry, what the fuck is going on here?
one dressed in
Nobody's in
purple
charge
and
here. We can take it
one
Emperor
dressed in
Palpatine. Itanakubaga.
delicious. Jeez. The guy in green, I believe, is voiced by Rob Paulson.
Huh.
The one in blue is definitely Kevin Michael Richardson. The one in orange is also Phil Lamar
Okay.
in terms of the voice actors. It's almost like I've actually learned quite a few of their voices.
Hmm. That voice sounds familiar. I'm trying to figure out who that is.
I think that's also Kevin Michael Richardson.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Something about and then we see the reason why they have the three pairs of eyes there.
Yeah.
And something else about having a nice, distinct, clean art style with with a lot of cool contrast going on. It upscales very well.
You finished the vanilla ice cream?
Vanilla ice cream is a myth.
My dad was my dad was asking. Oh dear
Why was he
lord.
asking? Vanilla ice cream definitely does not exist.
Because he's a big fan of vanilla ice
I'm
cream.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Even though he eats the cookies and cream.
This is the most interesting strip club I've ever been to.
Be like, what?
お前はもう死んでる.
Nani? So a number of these so the reason why
Why are
Jack
they
could
all
be as
dressed in S&M gear?
this is more white people dancing I than any white people dancing I've seen in Teen Titans or
They
Batman
are not
Beyond.
they are not synced up to the beat at all.
Like I said, they're just white people dancing. I
That's
know,
a fade
that's
to
calling it
credits. Or a fade to commercial, rather.
yeah, it's a fade to commercial. Remember when and fades to commercial Herschel used to kind of signify a new act.
Yeah. That dog on the left looks familiar. Like Peabody and Mr. Sherman familiar. Oh, that literally is Peabody and Mr. Sherman. Scottish Terrier has a Scottish accent.
Which, by the way, Rob Paulson is also the voice of the Scottish Terrier dog.
Okay.
I'm back.
In case you're wondering why Jack is able to go slice happy on a number of these things that he's attacking, most of them are robots.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, his name is Rothschild. It's when.
He doesn't even question it.
It's like, of course I do. Like how Jack's looking around like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a valid response. Oh, little smile.
You know, I thought the waitresses in the future were supposed to have 3 boobs, not 3 eyes.
I rather take. I'll take either.
I can hear the audio on your end, Gizmo.
I literally have nothing playing on the audio.
That, huh. World is not enough. Just visually demonstrating that. Good little touch there. Of course, silly. Have you never seen Star Wars? But
Yeah, and he's been around the world. Yeah, our hero, who has a deep voice, who has the deep voice of Phil Lamar, is only 25 years old. He's around your age, Alex.
Ah.
No, but here's the thing: everything became so advanced and so ripe with a large variety of creatures and monsters. I don't think he time traveled 25 years into the future.
Well, he is 25 years old, and therefore he has traveled, well, thousands of years. They said, the ancient myths are true.
They're dogs. Everything is ancient to them.
We want you to kill Aku.
We want you to cut a bitch.
I'll take that sword of yours and slice his fucking head off with it.
Here you go. It's the name thing.
She's like, hmm. I wonder how many ads Aku had to do just to, you know,
Cover the world with his products and likeness.
yeah,
He probably recorded them all in an afternoon, but it was probably a very long afternoon.
for him, yes.
Eat that cool way. Get in that cool burger from our cool king.
It's delicious.
I'm surprised nobody made a Samurai Jack reference of any kind in Cyberpunk.
2077?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there he is again. Goes on to Tumblr on a regular basis.
Statues that say, "Remember me!"
I'm sure Aku will now think of doing some more unspeakable evil.
Didn't he use that spell specifically to put him into the future? That look of surprise is
Yeah.
kind of funny to me because of it. It's like what'd you expect? Did you expect him to go further than that? Like why the surprise? I expected him next week.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually bad for dogs.
Well, I've got news. She has returned
Hmm.
to invade my personal space.
Bark, bark, ho. Hey, look, talking dog. The character talking dog, not a talking dog.
Yeah.
Damn.
Gee, they got crucified.
I like how there's like a shadow cast over them just to make it very vague if they were nailed or just tied up there.
Hey,
It wasn't that
hey, is
one of the
anybody else
stupid
having flashbacks to the Prince of Egypt?
wasn't that one of the stupid dogs from the
Deliver us.
no Deliverance?
Sunrise.
Why do they come? Oh, you knew they.
And that's the end of the second episode.
Oh yeah.
Are you getting TMNT 03 flashbacks, Alex? Because this has somewhat
Little,
similar pacing.
little bit, yeah.
Check, check, check. Watch out. Gotta get back to the path and right check. Watch out. Well, the funny thing is, in hindsight, this show ended up because of how long it took between in seasons three, between seasons 4 and 5. This show lasted about as long as Bleach's manga run.
Huh. Interesting. Right,
I wish it
everybody
was.
ready for
I
episode 3?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
And no, we're only doing the Aku thing once a session
That
because that's gonna
would
get
be,
old.
yeah, that would be incredibly repetitive. Eh,
Yes.
Uh, uh-huh.
You can kind of see why people quote that. It's because it's like you would think this would get old, but it's Mako's voice. I've seen the I have showcased the Japanese dub of this to you and Gizmo, Alex, and it's like the voice they got for Aku does not sound nearly as hammy. Like he doesn't like he just sounds like he's narrating the prior or intro, or he's just doing
Yeah,
the
it doesn't,
narration.
yeah, I know, like, it doesn't sound like he's into it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mako gets really into it. Previously on Dragon Ball Z. And the Japanese version ended up having to like, add like a blur or two to the part where he's in the time portal just because they don't want to relive
Yeah, there was the
Pokemon.
flashing, the high contrast flashing lights. Yeah.
We need we need you to murk a bitch. And, I think I do understand why Aku was somewhat surprised by the fact that Jack had returned, and
Hmm.
then that was mostly due to the fact that he that it's been so long that it's likely he forgot about him.
Mm. It has been thousands of years, after all.
Yeah, so it's like that one guy he sent through the time warp was just like such a distant memory to him. He's gonna need some guns, lots of
Bum bum
guns.
bum 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 ba-da-da bum 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 ba-da-dum bum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum ba-dum ba-ba-da-ba ba-ba-bo wow oh.
Hmm, buddy. Uh, Hey, don't forget to check the softener. Sorry, my dad was asking. He
Yeah.
needed to check the water softener. It's like the moment Jack realizes is that that's supposed to be like a ballpoint pen, he's like, "Oh, that's what it does? Whoops." He clicks it twice, and then suddenly a tranquilizer dart shoots out from it. I swear last night's movie night is just
That was actually
Oh, that
a skit from a series of shorts featuring the prototypical version of Johnny English.
I think this is where it gets adorable.
Bum 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 bum. Da da ba 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 da 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 na 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 da 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 dum dum da dum dow. Da 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 da.
I like the impromptu catapults.
Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow
That's
meow
clever.
meow 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 meow. Ba-da-da-bum-bum-ba-dow.
Oh, you're very curious, huh? Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
actual blood in a Y7 show.
No, but they're not showing like a lot of it. That's the thing. He just pricked himself.
It's more than zero.
Yep. Yep. Nice attention to detail on the pole of that bow.
Ooh, wow. Right through
Ooh.
stone. Making outright spears, lances, and naginatas.
I
Excuse me?
like how the tech is like, yeah, dog-ish. I'm reminded of something Gabe Newell once said, where he said, it's not realistic. Well, so fucking what? In the real world, I have to go grocery shopping and pay taxes and things like that.
Jack just happened to have an apple on standby.
Reminds me of that time the lobster guy on YouTube gave a lobster an apple and it wouldn't let go.
So there was a bit at a convention where Andy Tartakovsky was talking about how he would describe the opening scene of the first episode of season 5, and it's like a lot of what he ends up of saying and comes true. Oh, and I'm just like, oh my god. He is just he's just making he's just making his dream come true there.
This has no right to be. This armor up sequence has no right to be as good as it is. Especially when you got like the dogs decorating him.
Yeah.
He's got the standard behind him as well.
Game over, man! Game over!
A six-legged horse. The brother, I think that's a pot. That Hamlet's a pot.
Like he's got the crest of his family and the paw prints, those dogs. He's like, why not? Let's go with that. I also do like how it's not just Jack participate who is taking on all these beetle drones. No, he's getting all the help he could get because he knows that with just his sword he can't take all of
It
these
looks like
guys
he's
on.
riding a brontosaurus into battle.
There's an episode where he teamed up with a guy that was almost like a mix of Lupin and Jigen.
Huh.
Like he did. There's like a lot of references and like what's the other word? Homages to a lot of characters. Like he teamed up
They
with.
should have had a Samurai Jack crossover or with all kinds of stuff, but one everybody's obviously thinking of is
Ooh,
Johnny
nice
Bravo.
spark.
The one
I
everyone's
mean,
thinking of was what?
Johnny Bravo.
because as there were a bunch of
Yeah.
Cartoon Network bumpers where he and Johnny Bravo were pretty much just being bros.
Don't know where that came from exactly, but if people want to try and make that something into that, that's cool.
Big ol' fucking Lance.
And he's got another one.
Bruh.
And you know something? Star Wars sequels. This works here because we saw Jack training.
Yeah.
And even with his great successes, the odds are still against him.
And we're invested in wanting him to overcome these odds.
And
Ooh,
the big bad guy coming back was the thing that started the series, not the thing that ended it. Mm. Children's cartoons doing things better than multi-million-dollar Hollywood films in 3 episodes or
Chil-
less.
Children's
Imagine that.
cartoon, children's cartoon that came out over 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
the Chad 20-year-old cartoon versus the few month old
Versus the
reboot.
virgin modern Hollywood film.
Yes. Or, the Virgin reboot show.
Ugh.
He-Man,
Mm-hmm.
She-Ra, and
Scott Pilgrim.
apparently Scott Pilgrim too. Like Knives did a. Remember when She-Ra complained that He-Man died before
Oh,
she
that
could
wasn't
complain to
She-Ra,
him?
that was Teela.
She-Ra Teela up my ass. I don't care who that is. She still bitched that He-Man died
Yeah.
because I didn't
Well,
get
we
to
gotta
tell you
be
how much I hate you.
so
Knives did the same
we've got to
thing.
be clear about this because He-Man wasn't in the She-Ra cartoon, even though
This might.
he's her
Oh,
brother.
oh,
And see, there's still more are to come.
you know what I love about this is that eventually they actually give a hint of wanting to run away, but Jack's like, "Lol, nah, you ain't going nowhere."
Through the fire and the flames, they carry on.
Widdly 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 wah, widdly wah, widdly wah, widdly 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 widdly.
This isn't a Kerry King
Now,
solo.
and Alex, I swear, or it's like this show ended up being like the blueprint of Tartakovsky's later stuff with Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I am
Like,
so glad Samurai Jack didn't get the Fortnite treatment so far.
uh,
hmm. He's using all the he's been using all the impromptu weapons he had assembled.
get ourselves a little gear up montage, and then we use that gear throughout the episode. It's almost like setup
Big,
leads into something. A payoff, if you will.
big bad
Yeah,
Beetleborgs. I
I
guess
didn't
this is
know
what happens. I guess this is what happens when the Beetleborgs turn heel. Dumbass.
Well, they are literally bugs.
and then they're
Which
just gonna
And now they're
walk over
crawling over
there.
the corpses of their fellows.
they have some sense of sentience. You'll see why almost like a little after.
Yeah, Alex, now you're starting to see why Phil Lamar says this is one of the this is probably jokes that this is probably the easiest paycheck he's gotten. Yeah, there's a lot of times where Jack doesn't really even grunt.
But sometimes you can say more with a visual than you can with any amount of dialogue.
Yep.
Millennials need to really remember that when next time they make a fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
And
Or a video
Generation
game for
Z
that
are
matter.
starting to get into the fucking Workplace too.
I can't
By
believe I
the
have to
way,
work 8 hours a day.
by the way, we also can't forget the fact that Tartakovsky also had a hand in 3D animation with Hotel Transylvania.
Yes, Hotel Transylvania, actually
That
quite
was
good,
good.
surprisingly.
Well, 1 and 2 were pretty good. I don't know. I stepped away from 3.
I gotta watch Primal. Primal looks so fucking good.
Oh,
It
and then
does, and I watched the
Ho-
first episode. It is really good.
Hotel
Nice.
Transylvania also introduced everyone to Mavis.
Oh, it's kind of crazy.
This movie's for kids. No, it ain't anymore.
Remember, Tartakovsky, like Bruce Timm, is is unapologetically horny.
Man after my own heart.
Oh, would you look at that fight choreography and attention to where the fucking characters go between shots.
Ooh.
And remember, this is the first of many instances where Jack suffers from clothing damage.
They should have had Gendy do more storyboards for Marvel films.
Yeah.
That would assume Marvel wants to make money anymore.
Because there was some
And
awesome shit in his storyboards for Iron Man 2. When, like, a lot of that awesome shit made it into the film, some of the awesome shit didn't.
and
And it's
Tartakovsky is one of
practically
those people
criminal.
who and Tartakovsky is one of those people who's just like if you're not if we're gonna have a storyboard meeting, we better be making progress because otherwise I don't want to be a part of it. Because he hates the idea of a story meeting going to or it's like say
The oil, man.
just making video games. And which Tark
Ooh. That's where it gets
and it's like
That,
hardcore.
and if that
he's
was
not opposed to
red, the show would be rated R right now.
Oh yeah.
well, I
I
mean
heard
it
that
is well, I mean
I,
season 5 is is PG-13.
I heard that the reason why they decided to go with robots was because it was just an excuse just to make something bleed.
Yeah, so that they could make it bleed rather than, and not have the show, go up in rating.
Damn.
Written and directed by Zack Snyder.
Quentin
Written and directed by Quentin Tarantino.
No, if it were written and directed by
Tarantino by Written Directino.
No, if it were written and directed by Quentin Tarantino, we'd be seeing a lot of foot fetish.
And a lot of people eating each other's food.
Oh man. Now he's covered
Uh
head to toe in oil.
Look at that. It doesn't even have to be blood. He still looks menacing.
Yep.
Oh, here it is. Here's what I was talking about. This shows that they have some sentience. If they
They're
do this
fucking
simple move.
afraid.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're like, nope.
The fact I thought about running, that shows that they got a little bit of a soul. Too bad they just discovered it.
They just discovered it as Jack is about to lay down on the business.
It's one of those do machines feel fear kind of things.
Tell
No,
me,
stop.
does
Get
a
away.
machine such as
Leave me
yourself
alone.
experience fear?
And Jack stands triumphant over the machine is declaring freedom for the pups.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings. You stole my catchphrase. That's actually a really good joke, too.
Kind of too bad that when he actually did that, he kind of got rid of most of the friends he made.
Unfortunately, that's something that'll happen with time travel.
Yep. And now he gets a new gi.
You know, it would have been funny if they actually had made an episode explaining how he always gets a new gi.
Yeah.
They made an entire episode of Samurai Jack trying to find the right shoes to replace his his broken pair. And they made it work somehow. I think they could have done an episode of him trying to look for like a tailor.
Kind of like there was a was either a deleted scene or something that was created by Peter David for the novel. Well, there was a scene in Spider-Man 1 of Spider-Man going to a tailor
I
to get his
His
spider suit
costume fit.
made, and he
I
showed up
remember.
in the yeah, he showed up in
No,
the
I remember
homemade
that
suit that
comic.
he made.
when
Yeah.
when Gendy Tartakovsky moved to the United States, he was first drawn to art and and was inspired by his neighbor's daughter. Where he then later commented, "I remember I was horrible at it. For the life of me, I couldn't draw a circle." Anyway, so are we ready for episode 4?
Yes.
And we are going to be starting the episodic formula.
Oh,
So, 3. All right. So, 3. It, it, it,
I am using my phone, guys. How
Hello.
do I?
okay, so
You
hello.
sound
3,
fine.
2. All right, so 3, 2, 1. Anyway, I'll get some laundry done. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, but for
Wait,
real, I know a
are you
comic.
not starting it yet? Then?
No,
Oh,
we're
we're starting
starting.
it. I know what
Oh,
comic book you're
okay.
talking about, though. I read it and how the tailor even explained how he would meet like current heroes, legendary heroes, villains, as well as like
Oh, you're talking about
newbie
something from
heroes.
one of the comics. No.
Yeah,
No,
Oh,
I
is
was
that
what?
what
talking
you're
about
talking
That
about?
no,
money?
I was talking about in the movie.
Oh, which one?
Spider-Man 1, there was like I said, it was either a deleted scene or a thing that Peter David invented for the novelization where
Alex, you want to? Sorry.
I don't
Peter
remember that now.
put on a he got told by the Flying Dutchman, one of the guys that Bonesaw crippled. Well, he got told by the Flying Dutchman, and hey, my brother's
Hey, Dave from
my brother's a
SpongeBob.
tailor. He'll fix anything up that you need. And so, Peter went there with his drawings of the suit, and in the Spider-Man costume that he wore during the wrestling ring sequence and the hunt down of what's his name? Named Dennis Carradine. Um that he showed up in that, handed him the thing, and I made him the suits that he wore in Spider-Man 1 through 3.
Hmm. All right. Let's see.
But in the comics and some of the other things, Peter, I'm pretty sure that's not how rope making works, but okay.
I gotta get back
Are
to
you
the
trying to
computer.
capture a Usagi Yojimbo?
Oh, that would have been a cool crossover. Demise though.
Yeah, that's something that would have been really cool is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Samurai Jack.
Ooh.
Yeah, but Warner Brothers didn't have the rights to that.
Oh no. Oh, I'm not saying that it's a thing that could have happened. I'm saying that it's a thing that should have happened. Like if everybody involved was sensible.
Oh hey, jump good guys. Jump good.
If everybody involved was sensible, they would have done it because it would have made fucking bank. And to this day, they could probably still pull it off.
Right.
Just make a crossover movie. Doesn't have to fit into any one canon specifically. Just get like '03 Turtles because that's, the appropriate era. Get
Oh, you know
Samurai
what? Maybe
Jack and you have
maybe
them make a movie together.
maybe it could be like Samurai Jack found a way to
But here's the
legitimately
thing,
go back to.
Alex.
Okay.
03 Turtles was done by
No,
four
I know.
kids, and
I
that would
understand.
have to require getting two different voice recording studios to work together, and
I
that is a
literally
very
understand
know.
that.
costly thing.
Yeah.
You know what they could do is like maybe Samurai Jack found a legitimate way to go back in time. But the thing is,
He doesn't
it's
go back
very
far enough.
yeah, he couldn't go back far enough. Like it's like an experimental phase or something. So he only went as far enough as like the 21st century.
Yeah, so he winds up in 21st century New York City, where he meets the Turtles.
Yes. And then like you see like Shredder like finding not a canister of ooze, but like a canister of Aku where he's temporarily trapped.
I won. Give me my money.
Measly turtles.
You what?
What? Hang on. Jack's sword wasn't colored correctly in the last shot.
Yeah,
Oh.
there are some animation. There are noticeable animation errors in this show. Oh, so as good as it was, like TMNT
Ev-
03, there are noticeable ones.
Everything has issues that fall through, fortunately.
Yeah, and look no further than me freaking out over or the
Miniature turtles.
Oh, dude, imagine Aku fusing with fucking fucking Shredder.
Oof.
Terrell would find a way to control Aku.
I can imagine Shredder is able to overpower Aku because his hatred rivals Aku's power.
Yeah, like I said, Terrell would definitely find a way to control Aku.
Did you say Jor-El?
Chirel.
Terrell. Terrell
That,
is the Utrom that
Fuck that.
inhabit that is also the Shredder in the '03 Ninja
Yes.
Turtles
I wish
series.
I wish they didn't do that,
ah,
man. It made him a lot less fucking terrifying.
It doesn't really for me, it doesn't really take away some of his
It
menace. It
does
just
though. You got this big hulking of a motherfucker of a ninja that's able to put his head back on with so many theories from being zombified to cursed to being just a machine of the original Shredder, and then you find out he's like a fucking walking brain.
yeah, but he still has the menacing voice of Scotty Ray.
His voice was like nothing. They should have just scrapped that idea off like completely and just say, "Oh no, I'm the real Shredder. This guy just saw my image and thought he would name
Tengu
himself."
Shredder did that.
Tengu Shredder was at least a person to be reckoned with, and it didn't, pull off a fast one. Oh no, this isn't my real form. My real
That's
form is that fucking
fat-phobic.
soda bottle.
That's fat-phobic. Help me, fat rights people. Please keep PETA away from here.
Why is Amy Schumer in a cage? What do you fucking eat? You look like you were grown from a lab. And working one.
It's an interesting society. That was
Yeah, I have
paint. You weren't supposed to drink that.
Scotty Ray is actually now 51 years old. And I bet that he could still do the Shredder voice.
Tonight I dine on Aku soup.
Tonight we
Tonight,
dine on
I
turtle
dine
soup.
on Aku soup.
Tonight,
I could.
Aku, we dine
I
on
have now
turtle
proven
soup.
that. I've now proven that I could do like two voices that both really damage my throat. But again, my mind is like, is it worth it? It's worth it.
Tonight, Aku, we shall use the samurai sword
I get the
as
distinct
a sword.
impression that these guys are the legions of
Look,
Tom Kenny.
they sound like Tom Kenny. God damn, I can barely do the Shredder voice.
No, it
Horses
actually is
generally
very
tend,
different.
yeah, horses generally tend to be treated a little bit better than this.
That's a vegan's way of thinking.
Yes,
Yeah.
and vegans are objectively wrong.
Hey, what's up, Boogie? No, I'm not.
Oh, that's unfair. This thing has much more charisma than Boogie.
Oh shit. Apparently, Gendy Tartakovsky left production of Dexter's Lab to work on Samurai Jack. Though that would explain the different animation quality.
Huh.
You know what? A Zorro crossover with Samurai Jack would have been cool.
Dude! Zorro could cross over with anything. Zorro's public domain.
Until they decide to make a good fucking Zorro movie again.
Well, no, I mean, seriously, Zorro actually is public domain. He can cross over with anything. The
Yeah, I know
original
that.
work-
It's just
Yeah, the
I'm just
original
bringing
work
up
is
the
in the
fact
public
that
domain.
I'm just bringing up the fact that they ruined the fucking Zorro movies with that second one, not giving us another one ever again.
And the second one was fine. It's just the fact that
It
we never
was
got a
so-
third one that was
Bro,
the
it was
problem.
shit. It was so kiddie.
Oh, it was fine.
The Antonio Banderas sequel,
Yeah.
the one with the little shit.
Yeah, that
I
was
can't wait
perfectly
until my puppy
fine.
kicks your ass.
You know, there was nothing wrong with that film.
The one
I
where the
wanted
kid
to see
is
another one after
fucking-
that.
The one where the kid is outright fencing his teacher with rulers.
Yeah, that was fun.
Fuck. This must be a dream sequence. How did I guess that?
I am fluffy cool.
I did like
I-
the villains though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alex, you
You
saw
know
my
something
DM.
that yeah, I saw that. You know something I pitched that I think would have been well, hell, you were probably there for that. But something that I thought would have been a really good like alternative to the plot of Indiana Jones 5 would have been if they had Zorro in there.
You know they're not gonna do that.
Indy meets Zorro, that would have been fucking great, but they didn't do
Oh,
that.
Oh, you know what? Maybe Indiana Jones could have met like a descendant of Zorro or like an aging Zorro.
And it would have been still Antonio Banderas.
Man,
And the question,
he left.
see,
What
the
was
thing
that? That's nothing. Let's ignore it.
must have been the wind. But the thing that I had in mind would have been like a quest for the Fountain of Youth, and they kind of use like some CGI de-aging on Antonio to make him look, a little bit younger. And then
Hey, Jack,
Barney,
you
like,
have
and so he encounters him back in the past, right? But then he
Right.
encounters him
Hey!
again when he's
Aging.
older, and Antonio, like Zorro, is still. And Zorro
Jack
is
certainly
still.
has an interesting usage
Yeah. But
of
then
his hairpin.
Zorro is
I
still
didn't.
young, and he's
I
like,
didn't know Lizzo was able to reproduce asexually.
Oh, hey, fine. I'm going
Oh,
up.
they have to bring
Jeez.
back the score from the Antonio Banderas Zorro movies, though.
oh yeah, oh hell, they
Like the
wouldn't have.
moment, like
Yeah,
maybe
they wouldn't have
like
done that. Sony doesn't get along with Disney except when they make a Spider-Man film.
like think
I
about
get the distinct
uh,
impression that Tartakovsky looked at Snuffleupagus and decided, you know what, let's make a whole race of those.
like think about it happening like this. Antonio like fucking Indiana Jones is walking through a mansion, right? It's desolated, desecrated, and abandoned. Vines are growing up, are like crawling up the building. Dust is everywhere. Like shit is just literally abandoned to the point where if you pick it up, it's gonna leave like a big empty space of nothing,
Yeah.
right? And then he
So
goes
they
further
were.
into the building, and
So
then
hang
he
on, they were giant giant fluffy Jews.
Cartman, no, no, not that kind of Jew.
Okay, never mind. I might have been exaggerating things a tad bit because Snuffleupagus is an elephant.
A little bit. Yeah, what were you saying, Gizmo?
I was just like, I was just like pitching an idea how Indiana
Yeah.
Jones would find Zorro. Like he would go through like the mansion, right? He would go further in, like exploring. Then he comes across the library. What he thinks is a mannequin or like a dead body. He gets closer, and then a man in that same body raises his hand, but in that hand is a sword.
And get the little
Beside him is
sword
an
versus
oil
whip.
lamp. What? No, not yet. Beside him is an oil lamp. He turns that on slowly, and that's when his face is revealed with that score sounding. There he finds Zorro the Legend, aging, withered, and saddened. From there, I don't know. Maybe he finds
I
an
like
old
the
enemy of Zorro.
I like the idea of the quest for the Fountain of Youth better, I think.
No, but like that's how I'm saying it's like how Indiana Jones finds an aging Zorro. Like they can still go for the Fountain of Youth, but maybe that's like
So as it turns, so I've been looking up some behind the scenes stuff regarding Intro. Oh, and it turns out Peter Laird and Lloyd Goldfine and had both direct involvement in creating this new evil Utrom twist on the classic villain Shredder in pre-production.
Hmm.
fucking idiot. Yeah, let's make the
What
Shredder into
was there
a
an idea
fucking.
behind the creative choice to have all of the blue guys voiced by a single person?
For this show,
Yeah.
I think I'm wondering if
I feel like
I'm
the
won-
moment they laugh, they're gonna go ha 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 ha.
that's Mandark, unless Mandark is voiced by
Whoa.
Tom Kenny as well. That's some impressive talent with his feet.
Okay.
What? Yeah.
Well, he doesn't know that he's
Roll
okay.
with me on this one. Wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
Say no more. You might want to fall over now.
Yeah.
Get them. Ow. Ow. Stop hitting us. Ow.
Get the pocket protectors. I mean, what?
He has one of our weapons. We need to stop him. Ow. Ow.
Exterminate, exterminate.
Now we're making them sound like Daleks.
Ooh, Zorro and the Shadow.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
It has to be a
Samurai
legitimate
Jack in the Shadow.
Yes.
A shadow show animated in the style of Samurai Jack.
They were, funny thing about that,
Time has come, and so have I.
they're actually going to have a Shadow cartoon series with Bruce Timm as the lead artist.
Okay.
It was going to be black and white and everything. They canceled it.
Oh, lame. They could have done so much good shit with that too. They could have had him like it be mostly black and white except for the Shadow's red scarf.
Yes. Oh, you know what? They could do a thing where the Ninja Turtles, there was a time when the 3D Ninja Turtles show where they get serious, their pupils disappear from their masks. It could be something like that, where it's like when things get
Ow.
serious.
Ow.
It could be
Ow.
something similar where if
Stop
things
it.
get okay, it could be something similar where when things get serious, you could see the scene slowly turn black and white.
Dude, that would have been so fucking cool.
Don't let them reach the orb. Get them.
Aku rule the with the. Oh, no one can imprison Aku. I do not see a shadow yet.
Okay. So
Who
poke
is
the
whispering
ass
in your
just sent him
ear?
flying.
The Shadow enters the public domain in 2027.
Yes.
We are 4 years away from being able to do our own Shadow things however the fuck we want.
Let's hope it actually stays that way because I don't want DC touching it, considering they refused to touch it.
DC, Boom Studios, etc.
IDW. Oh, fuck. Imagine the Shadow crossing over with Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You know what? The Shadow has to cross over with something outside of comics. What if it crosses over with, I don't know, Death Note?
That won't work.
You don't think so?
No.
You
It's
would
like
think
all
it would
those,
end,
like because
you would think it would
actually
end
it
too
might
fast?
work as a, but he'd probably be mostly just Lamont Cranston for most of it. Like he wouldn't have much opportunity to dress up as the Shadow and confront Light, because otherwise he'd just be able to he'd be
You know
using
what?
his detective skills more so, you know?
That does give me another idea. I heard of this, and I heard of this being talked about a bit. Someone made a tier list of characters of not only who would figure out how the Death Note works, and figure out who is behind it,
Yeah.
but also who would not figure out how the Death Note works, and who would, as well as not being able to figure out how it works. Like, there have been people who said, oh, what about, fuck, what was his name? They would be like, oh, Columbo would be able to figure out everything, but Phoenix Wright would not. He would be able to figure out how it works, but not who's behind it. You know, that kind of thing. If I could find a tier list, I think we could do something with that. I think we just talked about Zoro and the Shadow for half this episode.
Yeah, and then I ended up talking about Shredder.
Fuck this Utron fucking version, the piece of shit.
Look, look, Gizmo when we he-
Shredder or
we'll
Shredder,
get
goddamn.
so
How?
hopefully I could actually make a good Shredder.
Oh my God.
Condé Nast apparently owns the rights to the Shadow.
What has he done with it?
I don't
Except make a
even know who
shitty
Condé
Batman
Nast
crossover.
are.
Dude, there was one Batman crossover the Shadow did, and it was horrible from what I heard.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. Oh, yeah.
Oh, see you, Mason.
All right, so now we are on episode 5. So are we ready?
Yep.
All right, in 3, 2, 1.
So,
Episode 5?
Condé Nast is a publishing house named after Condé Montrose Nast, who died in 1942. And his family and publishing company have done very little in regards to the Shadow. Excuse me. In fact, they have still refused to put out some of the lost episodes of the Shadow radio program out.
Bastards.
Alex, so based on what I've pitched to you on my little project, how do you feel about the way I've set up my variant of the Shredder?
Pretty good.
Oh, you know what? We should try and do like a serialization of what we should try to do like a random episodes of one shot a shadow crossovers. Like none of them are canon. None of them are real. None of them connect to each other. We just like want to see what would happen if the shadow crossover were with
Yeah.
something that's either just
you
as
could
old or as new.
So you could do like in 4 years when the Shadow falls into the public domain, you could have him cross over with if we want to bring in a character who Indiana Jones was based on, we could bring in his public domain version Alan Quatermain. We could bring in in fact Alan Quatermain could also cross over with Zorro.
Oh, Zorro is public domain. We should really do something.
That was what I already said
Yeah,
that.
you said that. So you said that. So like maybe we should do something with Zorro and the Shadow. Make some like what do they call them again? Fucking audio dramas.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
The Shadow
The
knows.
Shadow knows. Why hasn't Mark Hamill ever played the Shadow?
I think because his laugh might sound a little too much like the Joker.
Yeah, but that would make it really good. I've always thought that the Shadow's laugh reminded me of the Joker.
Nah, it's a distinctive kind of laugh. Joker's is maniacal. His like the Shadows is The Shadows, however, is a mixture of I think. Oh, man, how do I put it? Like, okay, Joker's is maniacal.
Explosion.
Joker's is maniacal, playful, merciless, psychotic. The Shadow, on the other hand, while also playful, is also mischievous.
Yeah.
You know,
That
like
okay, so seeing my kitty cat, do you feel that he is supposedly friendly or no?
Let's see.
dude, I managed to find some audio drama of the Shadow from the radio play and on
Hello.
CD.
Oh, I have some on cassette tape.
Nice.
Yeah, I have
He's
some of the
been-
lost episodes on cassette tape. In fact, that's why I still own that cassette tape, because they still fucking released them on CD.
I repeat, you are not the Shadow I see.
And now he's just sleeping.
I'm not gonna fall for your trick again. I'm gonna run him over. No, don't. You said he wasn't there. I never said such a thing. You only made assumptions. Because of that assumption, your fellow man is dead.
Oh my, praying mantis.
Praying mantis drones. With guns in their fucking... Oh,
Dun dun
wow!
Guns
dun dun dun. Oh, wait a minute.
with all the guns and
What?
the missiles.
I see R.L. Stein upgraded his are you
See, I'm not even see. All I did was bring him on here to myself.
That's,
looking at that little shuck of corn that the guy was picking?
Terminator-esque.
All I can think of is that Goldrig eats corn the long way.
Exterminate.
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 Okay, you have long-range weapons. You don't have to... Of course, Alex, don't you know? Guns are more effective if you get closer.
Meow meow ho.
Jack, why didn't you do that earlier?
Why indeed?
Man,
You
the
know,
fact
we
that he
later end up finding out that Jack, in terms of reaction speed, is able to dodge sunlight by entering a room.
I mean, he is dodging bullets that are shooting at him.
and lasers. Don't forget the lasers.
Team Rocket's blasting off again!
So yeah, Jack has some FTL reaction speeds. Oh, jeez.
You're a German, you're not exactly a stranger to doing something like that. Hi, Tom Kenny. Again.
Yeah. You know, the front paws of my cat are registered weapons. You want to know what they're called?
Pause of
Right paw and
fury.
left paw.
No, murder mittens. Come on, you can't tell me that's not true.
They're afraid of pickles.
Oh, Mason said that Mandark is voiced by Eddie Edison, not Tom Kenny.
Are you
Oh,
German or fucking French?
They're whatever they're whatever or the voice director needs them to be.
That's also Tom Kenny. I can't stand to fly. I'm not that naive. I'm just out
You can
to
go back over
find
here.
the better part of me. More than a bird, I'm more than a plane. More than some pretty face beside a train.
oh, okay. I get
Age.
what they're trying to do. They're trying to get him ready for space. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Space.
Remember the movie Space Cowboys?
If
This is Space
you
Samurai.
wanna fly, come and
Before
take a
Space
ride.
Samurai.
Take a space ride with the cowboy, baby. Oh wait, that's the wrong space cowboy. Oh yeah, drafts are since the drafts are already over, the draft matches will begin at the beginning of December.
Cool.
So if you made your account as well as your entry for the draft matches, prepare your anus for a lot of debating.
That
And
is a comically tiny rocket.
I do mean a lot of debating. Did Wile E. Coyote build that?
Don't be surprised if it suddenly explodes.
That's the most comedic.
Rocket Man,
That is the
burning
most
on a
comedic
fuel of
scream I've heard from
Babylon.
Jack.
Jack is actually now figuring out what each of the buttons do.
Iron Man
How's he gonna-
makes this look so easy.
Hold on. Here's my question: how is he going to figure this out? When he starts using his sword.
Ew. To infinity and beyond.
To infinity and your mom.
So, like, what? He's supposed to help them escape the planet?
Yes,
Uh,
by defeating Aku's
okay.
space forces.
Who summons the space is dogs?
Aku summons Space Dog in attack mode. They never take those spacesuits off.
Are they from outer space, or are they just leaving those on because just in case?
Yeah, they're trying not to breathe in the polluted air.
No, well, air isn't really that polluted to begin with, so maybe they are from outer space.
Okay, so there was a Astro Boy Netflix show called Pluto, and you'll never guess who they got to voice Dr. Tenma.
Nicholas Cage.
Nope, that was in the 2009 movie. Alex, do you have any guesses
About what specifically?
about the about who do you think voices Dr. Tenma in the Netflix show Pluto?
No.
Would you like me to give you a hint?
Sure.
He has a voice so deep that it turns men to stone.
Hmm. That's a reference I'm missing.
It's a reference to Death Battle, specifically a one involving, well, a character that starred in a Greg Weisman show.
Tombstone. Guy voices
Yes,
Tombstone.
yes, the initial voice, not Kevin Michael Richardson.
Yeah.
Keith David.
I was about to say the Arbiter.
Yep. Would you honestly believe that?
Yeah.
What do you
Honestly,
think?
what's really holding back a lot of these Hollywood stars from voice acting in anime? I wonder.
Well,
I feel like
some
it's
of it
mostly
comes down.
pay.
Yeah, some of it comes down to pay. But fortunately, anime voice acting has become kind of a breeding ground for a lot of voice talent, and has been like one
Fortunately.
of those like reliable paychecks. A lot of actors come back on when the other stuff is falling down.
Yeah. Yeah, and they still need a big rocket ship to break through the atmosphere.
Rocket Man, burning on my fuel up alone.
Jack is now seeing zero gravity for the first time, and it is blowing his mind.
It would blow anyone's mind, honestly.
Yeah, but here's the thing: he's like thousands of years out of his own time. That's actually one of the better aspects of this episodic format for Samurai Jack, because we get to learn more about the world that he is now forced to be a part of. And it endears us to his goal of getting back in time. Wouldn't you say that makes sense?
Yeah.
Here comes the first wave. As in Jennifer Hale is also a recurring actress in this show.
Oof.
Oh, you know, I have to wonder how many people. So Gizmo,
Yes,
set
hello.
digging into the hole.
Those
So
look
Alex,
like
are you
ticks.
glad? So Alex, aren't you glad that I suggested we watch this show?
Yes.
They look like
Wow,
ticks.
those.
Yeah, I said they look like ticks. He's getting the idea.
Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno.
This should not work, given that it's outer space.
Samurai Jack laughs at your shouldn't work.
I know that. I'm just saying.
Dude,
Realistically, that
dude, he went undercover for the mafia and still used his sword for everything.
Mhm.
oh, we'll be seeing that episode in due time. So Gizmo, you remember when Shredder tried using a rocket to get out of Earth?
Nope.
That was in the season 3 finale, Exodus.
Okay.
Samurai Jack also. Oh, bees. Why did it have to be bees?
Dude, I fucking hate bees. I can't even tell you.
I love bees.
Welcome
They
to
don't
my life.
they don't love me though.
Oh, I've been watching Totally Not Alex, I've been watching Totally Not Mark's review of Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh, and it's interesting in how he critiques the fact that the show has this penchant for or needing rely on battles ending with like the main character or getting lucky.
Up all night to get lucky.
Oh, every anime.
Yeah, but it's more like one of those where he really admits to the luck aspect. fact, and there isn't really much of an explanation.
Is this a coup
You get
or
what I
Dr.
mean?
Robotnik?
What if it's Dr. Akubotnik?
Dr. Akubanapik. Blah!
You may not make it back in time. He may not make it in time, but he'll at least get everybody out of here, which is a sacrifice he's more than willing to make. Uh,
He did.
what's he gonna do?
So Jack's just gonna cut a laser beam.
Not the craziest thing he's done.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
That was a Star Trek reference. So were the lightsabers inspired by Samurai Jack or something? So when he goes back in time, the world that he changes becomes, Star Wars. And now he's about to... Yeah, he is literally going to Master Chief this shit.
Yep.
And again, not the craziest thing he's done.
Or rather, not the craziest thing he will do.
Hey, at least they escaped.
Yep. So now they no longer have to live on this hellscape. And Jack's journey continues. Watch out. Gotta get back. Back to the past,
And he
Samurai
has to
Jack.
get a new gi.
Yeah, that's totally how it goes.
Again. Just like Jotaro and anybody else in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3. Oh, there are so many shows that you and I gotta watch, Alex.
We got right Street Fighter 2 V.
Yeah,
One,
Tom Kenny was in that. Everybody could hear it, but yeah.
yeah. I really do
Alright.
miss. I really do miss Cartoon Network Studios. Now we're on episode 6. So are we
And then
ready?
after this one, I think we're probably gonna call it.
Yeah.
All right. So in 3, 2, 1. I imagine he strokes that beard very often.
I'm sure.
I mean, I've seen him actually stroke it before, but it's just like that's not something you grow just for just for the hell of it. That is something you grow to actively stroke it in thought. And I do apologize if like the early season is just, is kind of slow.
What is?
Eh,
I was saying to Alex, thanks, I apologize if like the first season is kind of slow.
It's the first season. First seasons always have a lot of problems.
I wouldn't even say it has any.
Oh no. I
Oh.
think, yep, Gizmo, you and I both know this
Ooh.
episode.
Yup.
Oh no.
Samurai Jack gets his first Y boner.
With a
Ah, the
vengeance.
return of the Wyborn. With a vengeance.
Excuse me. You're kind of stealing my thing here. I'm the one who's supposed to be, for some reason, turned on by that. Not that. I have to wonder how often in animation it's like for a walk cycle, all they just got to do is animate the character looking like they're moving up and down.
That's why that's
Ooh.
why you tend to see a lot of barriers between characters and the camera, so you can't see their feet.
Which makes sense. It's easier to animate. One of those instances I have noticed upon repeatedly watching a clip is like in Bleach, there's a part where Ukiura is approaching Orihime, and he does that thing that I was talking about. But then we actually cut to a shot of his feet moving. Are you actively trying to blind me, man? You know who actually did a surprisingly good job at imitating Phil Lamar's voice with Jack? It was KG Tang in the Death Battle. Alex.
I'm sorry, I'm intrigued by this. Like, what the I do not wish to purchase a rug.
Hey, that came back.
Semi-serialization.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Quite a good
Earlier stuff
friend
comes
to,
back.
quite a good friend to TV shows. Because it means that your episodes won't completely lose everybody.
Yeah.
But you can also you also get the benefit of if people watch the episodes in order, it
Just like
actually helps them.
O3 Titans has that down pat.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also and and even though O3 Turtles does have questionable all, all methods with it, and they still do it. It too.
Eh.
Evil. Oh, hello. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot. I left my sword over there."
No, he didn't leave it there though. It was the blast that sent it flying.
No, no, no. He actually put it down on the floor to receive the vision, and then and it got blown away. So yes, he did technically leave it. Okay, then.
Oh,
Hello.
here it is.
Haha.
Oh, gee, I wonder who you are.
Alex, do you have any
Oh,
speculation on who this?
I recognize her from the comics.
She goes by quote unquote Ikra.
Hmm.
Okay, so Alex, do you already know the twist?
Yes, I know. I'm aware.
It's in the color palette.
Yeah, it's in her skin tone alone.
People still make
Ye-
art of that version.
yeah, it's Aku as a woman. Oh my god. So we just feel like so we have to just I just have to imagine. Did he just feel like did Aku just feel like one of these days just decided
It's
to
like a
fuck with
camel, but
Samurai Jack?
different.
He just Aku just decided, let's fuck with this guy a bit. I'm gonna turn myself into a woman. And anybody else around be like, are you sure, my lord? Yes, of course I'm sure.
Make sure my thighs are shaved.
Hut, 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 hut,
It's
hut,
really
hut.
too bad that that was the twist because I think they would have done something with that character.
Oh, the robots are happy. They already they're like, "Did it work?" "Yeah, it
Yeah,
worked, of course it did."
they know.
I would hope they know. I mean, they lost a few of their guys.
They're robots.
Yeah, but they
Robin.
have yeah, but they have sentience. So, quote unquote, Ikra is voiced by Jennifer Martin.
Hmm.
You got the sweats.
By the way, Jennifer Martin is the voice of
Excuse me.
Miss Bellum from Powerpuff Girls.
Ah.
So I'm sure you might have heard her before.
Well, I'm very curious about Ikra now. Hold on, let me look something up.
No, Gizmo, Gizmo, Gizmo. It's a trap. Get an axe.
It's a trap.
Oh, huh. Not as much as I thought it would be. I should be thankful for that though.
I
Like,
fell into a burning fire, and down,
you know how
down,
there's
down,
people
down the
out there that'll
flames
even
burned
you
higher.
know how
Burn, burn,
there are
burn.
people out there that'll make like lewd art of even like the most irrelevant side characters in like movies and shows, and it's like in the
Yeah.
thousands. Don't have to worry about Ikra. The count is 46 in total. There's art of her, just not of her. You know what I mean? It's just nothing,
Yeah.
nothing. That's the unsafe search, though. Now I wonder how much there is in a safe search. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh, that actually looks pretty cool. Huh. What I expected. The moment I put an Ikra in DeviantArt, I'm getting like African Amazon OCs and like
Yeah.
Vixen, Storm, more Storm, Vixen again.
Time has come, and so have I.
Aku, where do you come? Da, 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 da.
Those camels run real fast. I swear I'm getting a bit too much mileage out of the Mighty Eagles no from Angry Birds. Why I can't
He
Well,
pissed.
something good had to come out of that stupid fucking movie.
The first movie was good
and
What?
Peter
and only good.
Dinklage
That's the opposite of what most people say. Because the first movie was shit, and the second movie is good, is what people mostly say.
The first movie was
and
decent enough, but
I don't know how much they paid Peter Dinklage to be in that movie as the Mighty Eagle.
Probably a
I
lot.
just don't. I just don't like the what's the deal with that kind of joke.
Mm.
It's a cake, but it's gluten. You're saying non-gluten. What's the deal with that? Man, what's the deal with my fist up your ass? Shut up. Okay, with Safe Search on, there's plenty of Ikra fan art on when you go look it up on Google. A lot of them are poorly drawn, though. Some of them are just fucking screenshots.
Now they're just traveling on foot. Or
Yeah, if you couldn't tell by the green skin, you could have told by the color of the inside of her fucking dress there.
yeah. Seriously, Aku really does just actively wants to fuck with Jack.
Both literally and very figuratively. That actually hurt.
We are going to fuck it.
We used animation no jutsu.
Yeah, that's the safest you're able to look up, huh, Alex?
What? Did you actually and went to look things up?
Yeah, he found some good art. It's just, you know,
You know, much like Miss Bellum from Powerpuff Girls, Ikra is quite tall.
Hmm.
Very.
Except she doesn't have massive hair that covers her face.
Shadman did art on her. Yeah, you can imagine how dirty that is.
Fucking outstanding.
Alex, Alex, do you feel like this design for some of the female characters in this show have showcased to you the potential horniness of Gendy Tartakovsky?
Yes.
To me, I think it would have been interesting if this was like a Clayface moment. You know, like a piece of him is missing.
Oh,
Then
you
it
mean
gains,
like in
like
Batman
from the
season
animated
4?
series. Yeah, like it gained sentience, gave himself a name, that kind of thing. And then Aku like is like, no, it's a part of me that's been left behind on our last battle. You know, that kind of thing.
Hmm. Oh, and by the way, that elder guy, he was voiced by a man named Danny Mann.
Okay.
You are
You
Jack,
are,
but
Jack.
not your lady friend. Shape-shifting powers, similar to someone else Jack has fought in recent memory. Jack's then
That's a
like,
big
oh
bitch.
my,
That's a
that's a
huge
huge
bit.
bit.
No, you send them to the announce table. I mean, what? My God, they're a Spanish announce table.
Let's get help. Lol, no.
Ain't those supposed to not break so easily?
There he is.
Fuck.
Why with that voice?
I have seen the tent you have been pitching. You nasty bitch, you know it was me.
You
I am
I know this.
green. She
I,
was green. How stupid can you get, foolish samurai?
tell me, was your erection that bad? Were you that desperate for pussy? You will never get any. Never. Sorry, I couldn't resist. And there's the real laugh. How about no?
Samurai Jack has been tricked by Snoo Snoo.
Yeah, and even if that twist was painfully obvious, it's just like, damn, Jack was so close, and Aku just yoinked it away from him. Like, if that doesn't tell you how evil he is, I don't know what will.
Oh yeah.
I mean, aside from his name literally meaning evil in Japanese.
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh
Yep.
yeah. Asa doesn't have Mario Kart 8.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That
Well, anyway,
that
we will be.
sucks.
Well, anyway, since you said this would probably be the last one we're doing in this week, we'll be back in a few more weeks to continue Jack's journey into the future.
Yep.
And hopefully we will get back to the past, Samurai Jack.
Yes, next week we're going to finish up Superman the Animated Series, and then we have more Mario Party tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And then we're
So,
back to the Waifu Wars on Friday.
yep.
We got anything on Wednesday?
After the
Huh?
Seamus and I fit after the Seamus and I watch more or Teenage fucking Ninja Turtles.
So what were
So
you
until
saying, Gizmo,
then,
about Wednesday?
Nothing on Wednesday.
I think Ben and I are working on finishing up the Henry Stickmin collection on Wednesday. Okay, but that's about it.
so anyway, see you tomorrow.